Welcome to the Sk8LikeYou podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, it's Mark, Sk8LikeYou podcast, Sk8LikeYou.com. I'm here with Daniel Carlson. How's it going, Dan?
Not bad. How are you?
Good, man. I'm glad we were able to make this happen.
Definitely. Long time coming. I apologize.
No, man, it's all good. Stuff happens, man. Dan and I were scheduled to do this. Wow, what was the original time?
It's probably been 2 months.
It's been like 2 months, yeah. But, stuff happens, tech stuff. But we're good now, man. Rock and roll.
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
I've been waiting for it, man. I was glad to see you in Philly, man. You make it seems like to everywhere. Like how many events on average are you going to a year?
I think I've been to 6 this year.
6 this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Which ones did you go to?
Let's see. Started with Abilene. We hit Atlanta in March. Let's see. I didn't make April out there, but I hit Atlanta again for Grant's birthday. We did Memorial Day, Michelle, Skate Reflections. Atlanta in October. Atlanta's the place to skate, man. It really is. So Philly. I hit Ray's event in Philly last month. I think that's it this year. And my own in August.
Yeah, and you fly everywhere you go, right? Like
yeah.
I mean, you kind of have to. Colorado,
yeah.
I mean.
I'll take the Abilene. I'll drive. It's about 11 hours, and it's just nice to drive because, we like to take all of our stuff.
Yeah. No, 11 hours is manageable in the car. We drove, so the Memorial Day event down in Kissimmee or however you say it, that I saw you at, we drove that, and that was 20 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So I learned something, which is I'll never do that again. Never.
That's the 20 hours.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. Like, by that time, here's the good thing about it. By that time, I had kind of figured out, like, who are the best people for me to travel with. Because you know how that is, man. Like, people have to kind of mesh, you know what I mean, to travel successfully together,
That's the truth.
Yeah. So even with the crew that I came down there with, which they're like literally my best travel companions when it comes to skating, all of us to a person were like, yeah, we're not doing that again, whatever it costs.
That's a long drive too.
Oh my God, dude. And and here's the thing. What's that? Did
you go in one shot? Or did you stop?
Yeah. No.
Nice.
And here's the thing, like Orlando isn't even really that deep into Florida. I mean, when you consider, you could go down to Miami and all that kind of stuff. But even like just getting into Florida and then going to Orlando, that stretch just feels like forever.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh, it's the worst. But we had a blast, man. I love that place, dude.
Yeah.
How many was that your first time at Reflections?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, it's like second or it was my third time actually, and I will continue. I love it.
The rink, the vibe, the people, the owners. I mean, everything about it, man.
Agreed.
We were talking about it a lot just on the drive back, like how just amazing it was, just like from everything I just said, all those things. But yeah, what's your favorite event to go to? Is it Georgia? It sounds like it.
Yeah, I would have to say the USA shop, the Sparkles. That's pretty good, man. Everybody's there. It's just, everybody's there. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, because that's kind of the difference as far as, so when I first got into the event thing, like the primary focus for me was like just about getting to see a bunch of rinks I haven't been able to skate at yet, right?
That's where I started.
Yeah, and then you get to know people, at least for me, and you get a few events under your belt, and then my focus shifts to where can I go to see the most people that I want to see, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But because it's funny to hear you say Georgia, because I mean you're the Grapevine, man. You know what I mean? You're like the middle guy. That's what people think. I think that's how I kind of perceive it. And that's like that place is, man, not a lot of room to do stuff like that.
It was pretty fast, and yeah, you're right. It's not a lot of room. It's not a lot of room.
Although, so we went to was it March, and we couldn't stay for Sunday, but as soon as I got home, I started seeing all these videos from Sunday. And, like a lot of events that last day, people start traveling and it's just not as many people.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, that would have been the day though. Cause the floor opened up, and there was still all these like really amazing skaters just going out there, and they could they just had the room to do their thing,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I wish I could have. So next time I go, I'm definitely staying for that last day.
You should. And it's always a good day,
Yeah. But that's because I was watching, because like my real big thing was like the first USA event I went to, I was like, I just was so stoked to skate with Brandon Nix,
Yes.
That dude is incredible. And it was so funny because night one we're in Kennesaw, and I hear, like, I'm standing there kind of waiting to get on the floor or whatever, and I hear this, Mark Magoo, like that. Right? I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, he's like, is that you, Mark Magoo? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, man. And I was like, oh, Brandon Nix. I'm like, holy shit, right? Like, because I hadn't met him yet, right? And I'm like, man, I've been waiting to skate with you, dude. Oh, man, this is going to be awesome, blah, 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 blah. Oh, man, I love watching your stuff. And, of course, I'm just like, dude, stop it. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? One of us is absolutely insane, and it's not me. It's, but anyway, so, like, it would have been, like, the perfect opportunity to really kind of skate with that dude. So, but anyway.
It's almost impossible to match his energy. It's amazing.
I don't even, I was just talking about him in this interview I did in Pittsburgh, and, him and a couple other people, especially like he's so lengthy and tall, and you think, like, how are you moving like that? And he's so funky, dude. Like, he's so funky.
I love it.
It's so good. And like everyone has heard me say a billion times, it's always the people that I just can't mistake for anybody else that I just love watching the most, the signature kind of styles. But
very true.
Anyway, let's talk about you, dude. Let's talk about Divine.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right, man. So, okay, let's we'll just start with the most obvious question, the one that I ask everybody, man. Do you remember the first time you put on skates?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, tell me about it.
That would have been, actually, that would be an elementary school, field trip, or, the whole school does they rent the skating rink, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, that was probably like third grade.
Yeah, we did that a few times. Can I tell you, I never felt cooler than when my school did the field trip thing, because I was like the only one. You know what I mean? Like, I was the man on that day.
Because you could skate, right?
Yeah, because I was skating at that point still. You know what I mean? I started young. But anyway, okay, so you skate, you go third grade. Now, at that point, are you like, ooh, I really, really like this? Or is it just a thing that you did and later on you'd come back to it?
No, I think the first trip out there was hooked.
Okay. So when did you go back? Like, how soon did you go back?
Oh man, it was weekends after that.
Really?
Yeah, it was weekends.
Okay, cool.
As much as possible, or as much as your parents would tote you over there,
Yeah. How long was it before you got your own setup, your own skates?
I didn't get my own setup. Probably about 12 years old. 12?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were what, like 8 or 9 when you first went?
Let's see. Third grade would have been.
Yeah, I don't know.
About 7 years old.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So, but you're going. You're having the time of your life on brownies for a few years. Do you remember your first skates? Do you remember like what they were?
My first skates. Hold on.
Oh, this is good. Let's go.
We got there, and they were ordered huge. We got some 395, the side flap 395s, and of course this guy. They didn't survive the side flap because I'm an idiot. They've obviously been upgraded a little bit. We got diabolics, but original plate, original boot. It's pretty beat up if you can't tell. But
What size is that?
this is a 10, and I was
What's
13, but I knew better. I knew let's get something that's gonna last. Yeah. My first job was at the rink, and he let me pay these off with my first 3
Oh,
checks.
that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad I had
So
them sitting right here.
I'm so glad, man. Like you're the first one that's ever pulled out like their original skates. So wait, I gotta ask though. So okay, they're a size 10. You're 13. What size do you actually think you were?
I was probably like an 8, and if you can't tell because of that, they're all look, it's all rounded up because they were just too big and rubbing the floor. Not to mention they have a tank of a wheelbase. That's why they're
Yeah,
hard to
man.
skate these days. But
Yeah, yeah. So like they're like tied so tight that it literally like curled the toe. Is that what you're saying?
yes, yes, and that's probably why the side flap is missing, just because they didn't fit properly. So yeah, I kind of regret that. I'd like to send them to Rydell and get them fixed.
Did you? So you took that off yourself?
Yeah, that was stupid.
Oh,
I regret
oh
it.
yeah. But so like probably because what was it like? It had a Velcro.
Yeah, I had the Velcro. So, the newer 395s, the flap goes forward. Well,
Yeah.
those were the skunk ones that go sideways,
Right. And you
and
had them so tight that the Velcro probably didn't even hit,
it didn't
right?
work. Yeah, it didn't work, and then the threads started pulling out. So, regrets, man. Stupid regrets.
Dude, do you know I did the same exact thing to the first skates I got when I came back to skating, and it was and at least yours was a functional purpose, I guess, but like but so when I first got back into skating, I had no idea what to get. It'd been like 20 years, right? So I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm looking for. So I got like I just kind of like was like looking around, and I got like the vanilla freestyle remix, whatever it is, but they are huge, like they're like Frankenstein, like fat, things.
Yep.
And I was never used to that. One, I always had a high boot. I never had a low cut or speed boot. And my boots were always just leather. There wasn't padding or anything inside or anything like that. So those things were so chunky compared to what I was used to, and they had that friggin' flap on there. And I was like, man, I would hope I wish like they weren't so bulky. So I'm like, in my genius brain, I'm like, oh, I'll just take the flap off, right? Dude, they look so stupid after that. Like they just have these big ass rivets going. They look so dumb.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling
I
well.
felt like such an ass, but whatever. So were you were you mostly on like a speed boot though, a low boot?
Yeah, up until these bad boys recently.
So okay, so that's your first pair.
Yep, and I think I'm turned, man.
Well, it looks like it. It looks like it. So yeah, tell everybody what inspired that change, or what made you decide to give that a shot.
You know, I don't know. I liked the style. I see a lot of people. Uh, Everyone's telling me, "Hey, man, you're more of a middle work guy. Let's get you on a rhythm skate. You twist, you turn a lot." Chris Nelson was a big influence in that. That's who helped me acquire them.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I have a hard time going back to a low boot.
I
I
can
really do.
imagine. And here's the thing. So I don't know when it was, but it was somewhere in the last week or two. I just saw another video that you put up. You're kind of solo in the rink, dude. The difference in like what you're doing from like even a couple months, it's crazy, dude. Like it looked. I mean, look, it's always looks great, and it's always impressive. But like the wow. Wow. So I'm not surprised to hear you say that, dude. Like
It
at
just
all.
makes it cleaner for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's
It's
just easier.
yeah, I mean it's what they're designed for, man.
It's crazy,
It's
and it's crazy. My 951s, same boot size, same plate length. You know what I mean? But the way the heel puts the pressure on
exactly.
that front axle is a whole different ball game.
Yep. And the
Because it's
wheels.
changing in the wheel. Yes, I can still do my 951s, but I honestly prefer them with the smaller Vanathane.
Yeah.
The bigger speed wheels are what killing me these days. I'm having a hard time with it, which
Yeah.
thought I would never say. I spent my entire life on 62 by 44 Wicked Lips for most of my life.
Yeah. Huh.
Nowadays I'm on little babies, and
Yeah.
they're slick.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, like, I so I have kind of the same thing. I mean, like I just got the Ghost Assassins just to try them out and all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna, a 62, the height doesn't bother me. It's the width, just because my footwork's tight.
I'm
And
with you.
so I love that 38, that width. You know
Yep.
what I mean? I get it. Now, man, I put on like a 44. They feel like monster trucks to me, dude.
I'm with that. All of my wheels are speed wheels. They're all shaved down to probably 35 to 38.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what is that setup that the new setup? Like what do you
This
have
one
on there?
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the 172 OG. These are, vintage velvets. The sure grip, and we'll get a little closer view.
Yeah.
They're the velvet sure grips. They do have dream hubs in them. I sent them
Hmm.
to Nathan to get to hubbed, and he happened to have a set of dream hubs sitting around. So they look like dreams, but they are not. Um, Obviously, we got a size 9 Arius.
Of
Uh,
course,
I, I,
of course, Nathan has dream hubs sitting around. You know.
right, right. I do prefer the larger jam plug because I do a lot. I mean, I'm on my front a lot, so you have all that extra surface. I got all
Yeah.
the way from here all the way to here. Because you see me, I'm stopping, and uh, I don't know, man. It's just
So are
I.
you hitting that plug? Does that plug make contact with the floor a lot?
All right, well, we'll show you. This is my left foot, and yeah,
You got one that okay. Yeah.
probably 2 weeks at
Yep.
most. At
Same
most.
exact thing. Same exact thing for me.
I think Bionic Plug should sponsor me because I tear them up
You run
quick.
through them, right?
Yeah.
So especially when now that was the other thing. I never had a jam plug, right? I always had a stopper. Um, man, funny I could tell you something. So when I first started skating again, because like I said, I went to like a speed boot or jam boot really, which I had never done, and up until then, and it was okay because it had been so long that like it was kind of easy for me to acclimate to it, but there were these things that are like it's crazy. You don't skate for 20 years, but there is like muscle memory that seems to never go away, right?
No doubt.
So I skate my whole life, right, on this high boot, toe stop, whole nine. And I'm at Overlook one night at this place in Lancaster, and it's like literally the last song of the night, right? And the floor is basically empty, and I'm like, oh, I want to go backwards. I'm just for whatever reason, I'm just going as fast as I humanly can backwards. And it's funny is that sometimes I think it almost is more dangerous when the floor is nearly empty, because it gives you a false sense of security that you're not going to run into anybody. So like in that moment, at least, I'm not paying attention like I normally would. I'm not as.
Yes.
So anyway, now this has only been a couple months, right? And I've been fine with the plugs, uh, and I haven't. I was never yet in a situation where if I was going backwards and I needed to stop quick, that I would instinctively just try and go up on my toe stops, right? That weren't there. Okay. But that night, this poor guy, Ryan, and there's this older guy, and he's like 70. Okay. And he's there all the time. Super nice guy. I can't remember his name. And I'm looking this way, nothing. I look this way, nothing. I look again this way, and they are like side by side right there. And of course, I like instinctively, I just go up like I'm, going to stop. And what happens? My feet just go right out from under me,
Yes, sir.
and I took them out so bad. I
Oh,
felt so, dude. My right foot kicked the like literally kicked the back of like both of his skates, and my left foot kicked the back of both of this other guy's skates. And I mean, Ryan was okay. The older gentleman was a little shook up. He was fine, nothing permanent, but I felt like such an ass, dude. But it was amazing because, like I said, that I hadn't even attempted or tried or had to do that in 20 years. And automatically, that's exactly where my instinct went, was to jump up on my stops. But that instinct is gone now. I can tell you.
Yeah, no more trips down memory lane with that one. That's for sure. Yeah.
God. So did you ever? So you were always on plugs?
Yeah, for 90% of the time. Yeah.
I don't even know how now, because I do the same exact thing. I run one of them down to nothing all the time. So now I can't wrap my head around how I ever used a full size toe stop. I don't even know how I did it, you know, because I'm always looking at these guys like these people spinning on their plugs. I'm like, how, like, what, that would be gone. You know what I mean?
Right.
For me, what are they doing that's different? Do you know?
I tear them up, so I'm with you. I don't know, unless they're using some material that or brand. Let us know, by the way, if anybody watching, because we'd love to hear your input on this.
How, so like, do you like end up turning them one time and then having to get rid of them? Is that what you do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'll try. Or I don't burn up the right foot quite as fast.
Right.
And it's already got a little bit of shape, so I'll transfer it to the left, put a new one in the right.
Yep.
And obviously my left foot is my dominant spin foot, so.
And how do you like the Arius, man? I hear so many different things about that. People either swear by it or like not at all.
I swear by it. I can't skate much anything else anymore. I mean, I can, but it's so much more stability for your edges or angle control or when you're spinning. You know how sometimes, I can get up on my two inside edges pretty well.
Yep.
If I do that on a standard kingpin, my skates might be going out from under me the same way yours did, and face plant, you know. So yeah, I swear by it. Once you're used to it, I think that's what it is. Once you get used to it, putting your older pair of skates back, it'll take an entire night to get used to a standard kingpin setup again.
Were you on a 45 or a 10 prior to that?
I spent 90% of my skate career on a Sunlight, which I think it's 5 degrees, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It might be 10. It's 10. It's 10.
I was always a 45 until the Reactor Pro that I have now. And talk about adjustment. I had like a disastrous fall getting used to that.
It's so much stiffer, so much more stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, 45 is the way to go. I don't care what plate you're using. It really is.
Yeah. So with how many times did you have to kind of like, because the Arius comes with how many different cushions?
Oh man, there's probably 9 different colors.
Yeah, hardnesses. Yeah. So did you swap out a few times? Did you like what are you running now on it?
So I tried the softest. I tried the hardest. Both of those were terrible. I put the fluorescent green and the light blue. One is 82 and one is 85, I want to say. I'm in the light blue, and it's my jam. It's right. Yeah.
And how long have you had that? Okay, how long have you had the Arius, that plate?
Let's see. So I got the blue and gold 951s late 2022, and I've been running them ever since.
Have you ever had to switch the cushions that you prefer?
Man, no. I like the blue. I made it 11 months before my front axle started to feel okay. Maybe I should swap these out.
Yeah, so you had to replace them, but
yeah,
you didn't. But you stuck with those hard. Okay,
and just that left front. That's the only one that needed replaced. Those things. I've heard of some mixed feelings as well. There's a guy locally here that skates. He's like, man, these things don't last me 2 months, and I'm like, I'm going 11 months on the same cushions. So he's a little more wild. He's impressive the way he can hold his center of balance. So maybe that's why he burns through them.
Yeah, well, I burned through the Reactor Pro ones. Like, I had to go to Ron Murray and have him, give me a harder one.
Who makes a phenomenal product, by the way.
Absolutely. Shout out Ron Murray.
Yes, sir.
He's only like 30, 35 minutes from me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I saw him in Philly, didn't I?
Yeah.
He was there.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, he was there. He was like one of like three people where it was like at the end of the night Saturday where I was like, there was like three different people. I was like, oh, that was so and so. What the,
Yeah.
So what now? When you're skating, like when you're coming up as a kid, the rink you worked at, what rink was that?
That was Skate City in Littleton, Colorado. I lived right behind it. I went to school up the street. I was there every weekend. At that point, it was literally right behind my house, so I could just 30 seconds I was in the door.
Yeah.
So it was almost impossible not to be like, I was 14. Can I give you a little backstory?
Please.
So I was struggling in school, middle school. That's obviously a tough transition for people. I was kind of skipping school and sneaking over. I got a job there, right? I was 14. I lied. I lied to the owner. And in Colorado, you can get a worker's permit, I think at 14 or 15. I can't remember.
Okay.
So I got one. I forged my mom's name on it. They gave me for real. So they gave me a job. This only lasted about 6 weeks before the school, my parents, the rink, everyone's like, okay, you're not in school. What's going on? They figured it out, and so they let me go. Which that didn't last very long. After another year, I was able to be like, okay, I'm old enough. I'm responsible now. I'm going to school. They gave me my job back. That's where I got my first pair of skates, by the way. Yeah, those young, dumb mistakes, Hey, honestly, when they let me go, because I lied, obviously, you stupid kid, I was like, you know what? I'm not happy with you. So I took a parting gift. I shouldn't have done that, but I snagged a pair of rental skates. And that's still when they had the Vanithane wheels. I don't have the skates. Up until recently, I had the wheels. Nathan fixed them up. They were hubbed out and awesome. And my first skate event, there was a girl, Bree. She was struggling a little bit. She flat spotted one of her wheels.
Uh-huh.
So I said, hey, these are like my miracle wheels. Like, they're absolutely amazing. So I put them on her skates. And man, that girl was just flowing and moving. End of the night, I was like, just keep them. Just keep those wheels. Well,
she's killing it on stolen wheels.
Yeah.
It's Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels.
Oops. The young dumb kid stuff.
Oh man.
Hey, no regrets, man. That hopefully the boss, the owner, never hears this.
Dude,
he'll probably forgive me. This was how long ago? I mean,
of course.
I'm 41 now.
Yeah. This is you telling your parents you broke the lamp when you were 10. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So dude, let me tell you though, a little bit older, okay, at that than you at that point. And so the people that owned the rink that I went to, they employed my brother, my sister, me. My sister babysat their kids. I would go spend weekends at their house and they'd take me to the rink. I mean, they were basically family. And one night, it's like 16, right? And the session's over. And there was this guy, Conrad, who was he was like the manager or whatever at that time. And Conrad was kind of a funny dude. And he had a buddy with him, this guy Lenny. And they're in the the way that was is you come in the front and there's a window and that's where you pay, and then behind there obviously like is this counter area, but further back is the office. And so the session's over and I'm there with my friend Jay and just cleaning up the DJ booth or whatever, and there's this fire extinguisher. I've never used one before.
Okay.
See, here's the thing. I'm dumb. I'm like pretty stupid, right? So in my brain, I just connect everything to like, well, so if I've never done something, I just refer to, well, what happens when they do it on TV or in a movie, right? So in my mind, because I've seen people use fire extinguishers on TV, it's just a cloud, right? That's all it is. No big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Jay, I'm like, dude, I'm going to go blast Lenny and Conrad with the fire extinguisher, right? Dude, I'm spinning everywhere. So he's like, oh my God, that'll be hilarious, right? And here's the other thing, people. This is before like cell phones and like cameras and social media. We're only doing this for our music.
Exactly.
So he goes and the way it is like you walk and there's a counter, but the counter's like right here, and then the door's here. So you kind of you'd walk behind the counter and have to turn into the office. So the door's open and I just kind of lean over. I'm holding this thing. And I go, Conrad. And now Conrad's at this desk. He's counting the money up. You know what I mean? And Lenny's just hanging out waiting for him. I'm like, Conrad. And he turns and I just, and like this probably 2-second shot, right? Right in their face. And we're dying laughing, right? I have no clue. Have you ever done one? Have you ever shot one of those off?
Only because
when you had to.
The powder.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I can't imagine what happened right there.
You're talking about 30 years of paperwork stacked everywhere. You know, I mean, it's an office that's been literally whatever since the day that office was moved into. Everything that was ever collected there is there. So it's like every nook and cranny of everything of 30 years of stuff is covered with. I had no idea that it would do that.
How much powder was going to come out of that thing? That's right.
that would just settle and just be this dust of just insanity, man. So we leave, and Bob, the guy that owned it, he literally called because we went to my friend Jay's house and called, and I got on the phone, and he's like, because Jay almost literally lives across the street. He's like, I need you, because poor Conrad, like crying. He called him, you know, and he's like, I need you to come see what this did, you know? And I had to clean that thing for, I think it was like 13 hours, man.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Everywhere, right?
Oh my God. Anyway, I went on way too long with that. I'm sorry.
No, that was great. That's a good story. That was a good story.
I can't believe it's so stupid. It's so dumb, you know? But
hey, I feel you. I took the rental skates, and you know, we all make mistakes, man. But you know,
at least you were like a disgruntled employee, kind of. You know what I mean? Like
on my own fault. Freaking idiot.
Okay, but that's so cool though that they let you come back and work. Was it the same owners and stuff?
It was.
It was.
He's a good guy.
So is that place still around?
It is still around.
Okay, that's not the one that has the event though, right?
No, that's my now home rink, and I just prefer that the floor.
How close are you to that place that you used to go to in Littleton?
I mean, either of them are between 30 and 40 minutes from me.
Do you ever go back to that one?
Yeah, every once in a while. Yeah. It's the floor's a little warped these days. It's pretty old, you know.
Oh yeah. Is it wood?
Yeah. I think it's 4x8. I think it's plywood, coated plywood. It's not hardwood.
Yeah. So how does the elevation have like? Does it? like have an impact on how floors, whether it's wood or what, does it impact anything with that kind of stuff?
It's pretty dry here, so probably,
Yeah.
probably. Our we ha- one of our one of my favorite rinks, the Wagon Wheel. It's a little further. They have a hardwood floor, and it's 56 years old, I want to say, and it doesn't have a single warp in it. So,
No kidding.
it's hard to say. It is elevated off the ground. Um, it's insane. It's about I don't know what's holding it up. If it's subflooring or it's amazing though. It's absolutely amazing the way their floor is elevated. God, I wish you
Yeah.
could come skate it one day.
Well, I'm definitely going to have an opportunity at some point.
It is my
The
favorite rink in the country.
Really?
Apps, hands down. Just that floor, that feeling. You can feel the bass through your skates. If somebody falls, you know it because the whole building's like.
How
It's
big is it?
awesome. It's not the biggest. It's pretty nostalgic. There's some tree trunks in the middle. I'll send you a
Yeah.
picture. Maybe you can throw it up in the
Yeah.
video or something. Yeah, it's pretty
Absolutely.
cool, man. There's nothing like it.
I, and that's because I love that thing. Like Gretna is the closest rink to me. It's literally like 10-minute drive, and it's the oldest operating rink in Pennsylvania. It used to hold the county's farm show thing. So like they literally would like auction cattle in that place. Um, but it's a super old, it's an elevated floor as well. It's a raised
Okay.
floor, big four beams, and they have benches in the middle.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like, yeah. Well, here's the thing. They only have one entrance to the floor, which is dead center. And this isn't like a rink that is like it's like it's a birthday party place kind of
Okay,
thing. You know what I
gotcha.
mean? They don't do skate mates, which is fantastic,
Agreed.
but the thing is what happens is because they only have that one entrance, which is dead center, and on top of that, the way that the benches are, like they're lined right up with it, basically. Like this, I mean, they come out, they're wide, they're it's wider area, but the basically it's just the center, and that opening to the floor is dead center, and it just points straight to the middle of that floor where all those benches are. So as you probably suspect, that just beckons people to just go straight across. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Oof.
And man, I have seen the worst things I've ever seen happen to people on skates happen at that little podunk spot just for that reason. Because, like, every other rink probably you've ever been to, for the most part, even if they have a dead center opening, it's usually pretty wide,
Yes.
right? Or they have like openings at the corners because that's how freeways work, right? You a ramp to enter and exit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is a crosswalk in the middle of a highway, basically.
That's what it
And
sounds like.
it's been bad. It's been bad. So now, how old is the rink that you're talking about, though?
The Wagon Wheel.
Yeah.
It was the last time I talked to her, I think she told me it's the 28th oldest rink in the country. It was built
Wow.
in the late 50s, I want to say.
Okay. Huh. Is it kind of like the same thing as Gretna? Is it more like a family kind of vibe than like serious
It,
skaters?
unless it's adult night, it's pretty serious skaters, and it's a little ways out there, so it's not the most crowded adult night. It's actually quite nice. It's actually quite
Mm,
nice. But on
yeah.
a normal session, I think they're only open on the weekends, and it's definitely family oriented because it's kind of out in the sticks in Brighton, which is a little more agriculture area versus the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah. That's how Gretna is. Like last night I went just because I literally just put the new Bonts on those Ghost Assassins, and I wanted to try them out, and I went over there. I don't know how it is in Colorado, but here, like, there's definitely skating is very seasonal. So, like, right about now, it's getting busy again,
Yes,
and,
here too.
and yeah, and Friday nights, like, is Kid City. Like, you don't. and last night was like the first night where it really started getting crazy. But I love those. This was going to say, I love those little nostalgic old places. I love the floor. It's a soft pine. It's kind of worked in some, it's got a ramp actually at one point, but like, I don't know. I love that. I
Yeah, me
love
too.
that whole thing. But
It just feels better when you're on the. It's just the nostalgic of it. I don't know what it is, man. It makes you feel good while you're in the building.
yeah, yeah. And
Definitely.
they've got memorabilia, man, like you just wouldn't believe. Just all this skate stuff. Like it's a museum. It's really cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I think I've
They,
seen like something on YouTube about that. Right? I'd like
I
to visit it one day.
I did the rink tours. It was the first thing that kind of morphed into this podcast. It was the
You're
first
right.
thing I ever did. I went to like talk to the owners and and talk about the rink.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool. So okay, so you're skating through high school and stuff like that. Was there a point that you stopped at any time?
You know, as all of us, you get your driver's license. Um, it kind of disappears for a minute, right?
Mm.
Children. I probably had a good 10-year break in skating towards driving my career and, getting out of high school, driving my career, kids. Um, and it took my kid's third birthday party at the rink I worked at Skate City Littleton. um, I found my old skates, and man, that was it. It's been a sealed deal since, even for my son.
You found your old skates. They finally fit.
Yep, they,
And you
they finally fit, and as you said, that muscle memory never goes away, man. I put those on, and my wife and son were like, "What? You can
oh
do
yeah.
this?"
Okay, so you didn't. So your wife and they had never
No,
seen you.
no, and it was like
Yeah.
immediate. Could still grapevine, could still rock those front toes, and it took all of 10 minutes to get back used to it.
Yeah. I hear that. I think Mad Hatter, Sean Orshin, he had the same thing. He had, because he did competitive speed skating too for a while, but his daughter's sixth birthday party. He took her to the rink, and I think he had one of his kids had a sixth birthday party. He went, and I guess the bug didn't really bite him there, but the next one he had his other kid, their sixth birthday party there, and he said it just he's like, I don't know what it was. I put skates on and it was right back onto it. So do you,
That's
so
awesome.
you, so you started then and haven't stopped since?
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's been
how,
solid
how,
since.
how long ago was that?
It was his third birthday. He's 13, so it's been a good 10 years. We kind of started, hey, let's go Friday nights after school. Um, then I kind of jumped in my adult scene here in Denver, which shout out to Colorado. We have, between our 7 rinks, you can skate adult every night of the week.
Oh, that's awesome.
Every night of the week. And I mean, they're all within
Oh,
30 minutes of each other.
oh,
Every
I
night,
had
every
no
night of the
idea.
week, we have an adult night. It's not at the same rink every night,
No,
but
that's
which
great
is
though.
actually
That's awesome.
yeah, because you get to experience all the rinks. There's a lot of people that travel to those rinks nightly. If not, you got your little your friends that you associate with when you're excited to see on
Yeah.
Tuesdays. Wednesdays is this crowd. It's absolutely phenomenal, man. There's
Oh,
there's
that's
nothing
so
like it.
cool. Yeah.
There's
Cause,
nothing
cause
like it.
like I'm always like super jealous, like of like Georgia down there. I was just talking to Kojak and Lady T, and I literally said to him, I'm like, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a rink in Georgia. You know what
That's
I
no
mean?
doubt, no doubt.
But dude, to be somewhere where you're within a 30-minute drive of an adult night 7 days a week,
It's pretty.
shit,
It's pretty. We're pretty fortunate out here. I'm not. And
that's
our skate culture,
crazy.
and our skate. We have quite the skate community. It's huge. So there's probably 40 people that invest in those adult nights as many nights of the week as they can. It's something else, man. It's something
That's
else. We're pretty fortunate here.
And would you say, does it vary as far as style goes? Would you say it's more shuffle oriented? Would you say it's just it depends on the crowd? Like what does Colorado look like? You know, because like if you say like if I say Florida, right? Like you can in your mind you instantaneously kind of picture, you know,
Shuffle.
a style. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like so when I say Colorado, what does that conjure up for you?
I wish we had more shufflers. There's a
Okay.
handful of us at my home rink. That's probably where it happens the most. Man, we're kind of all over the place. Everybody kind of does their own style.
Mm-hmm.
There's one rink, the Skate City in Aurora. Um, it's more of the JV style. Um, the rest of the rinks, man, I wish I could get you some videos of it. Everybody, there's so many people with their own style. I can't even explain it. So many
No,
people are different. It's
it's
phenomenal.
yeah, no, it sounds like Maine. It sounds like where I came up because that's exactly how Maine is. Maine is it's like an as far as skating goes, it's kind of an island as far as style. Even like where even to the how they accessorize the skates. It's
No,
like
no doubt.
have you seen the back break? Have you seen like
Yes,
these videos?
that's a
Have
main
you?
thing.
Oh, it's a complete Maine thing.
Yeah, I've always had
It's
questions about that actually.
I man, there used to be this dude, Dan. It was another Dan. Okay. And Dan was the guy that, I don't know, he always had, he kind of had like the Eddie Murphy raw get up on in like multiple different colors or like the thriller kind of. And so he'd have like an all white or all red or all purple. Like, but that dude, like, he had his skates so tricked out, but yeah, he had that. I just remember, and look, a lot of people had back breaks, but I just remember that dude. But like when I was a kid and I'd see that, I'd be like, oh, that looks like that was the thing. Like that, like he was like swagged out. And now I look at it and I'm like, that would make skating for me so much harder, first of all. And it's really different because there's such an emphasis on, you know, now your wheels or your brakes, you know, all that kind of stuff.
No doubt.
But there's 15-year-old kids, okay, up there right now rolling around with those a single back brake on. It's like still
It,
the thing.
when you see their videos or anywhere across the country, it's really the main crowd that has that back break.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. What's his name making all the videos? Is that Fernando? Is that right?
Fernando Moreno and
Yeah,
and Dale Edwards
and
of
Dale. Yeah,
Roller Skate New England. That Fernando dude, out of nowhere, right? Just all of a sudden, like thousands and thousands of views all the time.
I love it. Put Maine on the map, man. There's so many good skaters out there. It's he gets some great footage of some great skaters. I love to watch
And
it.
he's good at it because when I went up there with Rob, he was recording me. You don't have a clue. You don't have
Nice,
like you have no idea like that he's
nice.
doing it.
And I
He
love that
gets
he's throwing the '80s in there, man. He's changing up the music. I love it.
that's the music.
That's
That's the
perfect.
that is the music. Dan, I don't know if so. Here's the other thing about Maine. I don't know if you heard me talk about this at all or not, but that it is the most random collection of music. And the thing is that there's no in most pretty much 95% of rinks. There's no mixing. There's none. They don't play a remix or an edit or a cut of a song. They play an album version. And if that album version has a 45-second echo chamber intro, they're playing it. They're going to fade it all the way out. And then they're going to go completely other end of the spectrum musically, right? Like to country or something.
Okay, okay,
And that's how it was when I came up. And it's still the same. It's just
nice,
crazy.
nice. That's a good culture, though. You know, that's what it's all about. They're keeping it original out there.
So what is it? What's the like the DJ vibe or the music vibe for the most part, Colorado, as far as skating goes? Just depend on the night.
Yeah, it depends on the night. The Littleton rink, that adult night, he we call him DJ Disco Phil. So he likes to dip into the disco. That's his style.
Okay.
As typical nowadays, skating kind of rolls on hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or 90s, obviously. It's got the beats, right?
Did people they enjoy Mayhem when he came out there?
Yeah, man. And he kind of pulled himself away from the speedy Florida style. He adapted to Colorado, but he kept his own style in it too. Oh man,
Yeah.
he's amazing. As
Yeah.
he did in Philly, he pulled out his style, but he pulled out some East Coast music while we were out there too.
Reading the room, man. It's
Yep.
so important. It really, really is. I mean, it makes all the difference. I love him. I love Jams. Tito.
Oh my goodness, Tito tore me up that night. I couldn't even. My legs. I went home burning, man.
Yeah.
Yep. And that night at Roller Jam that I went. Oh, Tito is absolute fire.
I wish because you had been there how many times?
Twice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I missed out, man. I missed out. Hey, and speaking of your town, I got to give a shout out to Mad Hatter. He came to Colorado for my first event, and he brought his style. He brought the East Coast style, which we're not used to here, and it was phenomenal. He's a fantastic DJ, a fantastic human.
I love Sean, and I like, Sean. He literally makes a concerted effort to just try and bring something different.
Oh, I love it.
Just expose people to different stuff, which I think is fantastic. So you come back to skating, after so many years, and how long is it that you've become probably a fairly significant staple in Colorado skating. I mean, you put on the event, right? First off, what motivated you to do that, to get an event going, and what was that process like? And just give me the whole thing from literally moment of inspiration to execution.
Moment of inspiration. One night, me and my son were skating. It was a Friday night, and our DJ comes on the mic, and she's like, "Hey, we got a special guest in the house." It was Juicy, by the way. And she likes to come to Denver because, again, we have quite the diverse skate culture. You can do it every night of the week. She'll come here for a week and skate all the rinks. It's quite awesome. Huh. So we got to meet. She loves to meet skaters. So she comes up. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to introduce myself. You're obviously a born-again skater." And she's like, "Hey, come out to Atlanta. You're going to love it." And, man, I was in absolute awe when I walked in that rink door. All those videos you've been seeing for years, all these amazing skaters, we're all collected in one building. And, man, I left home that weekend, and this was probably 3 years ago, March. I left home that weekend, and I told myself, my community needs to feel something like this. This was, just absolutely amazing. Okay. As coming to Philly or Ohio, there's just so much. The people, man, you get to meet all the people you've been watching, you've been seeing. I wanted to bring that home. I wanted because we have such a big skate community. I'm like, you guys, if nobody can travel, I'm going to bring it here so you guys can experience this, And it's not obviously the caliber of USA Shuffle Skate because, that's like the event of events, right? I mean, it's the busiest one.
They've been doing it for a while,
Yeah, it's a staple in the. I mean, that's probably what started a majority of these because people probably have the same thing. They want to bring that home, I was hooked after that though. Thanks, Juicy. You hooked me.
So now, but you've got to get the rink on board with this, right?
I had to get the rink on board with it. And, that wasn't too hard, actually, because my DJ, she's a professional speed skater, our rink manager. She's our DJ. She knows Michelle very well. And they used to race together back in the day. So she's seen the scene. She knows what's going on, and she was all about it. She was all about it. She's like, Denver's a big staple. Let's show people what we got, and let's bring that culture to us. And so that was an easy decision with the rink. And the owner of our rink, he's a great human. His name's Bry. We're good friends, so he was all about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So was there? So it sounds like though you have enough of a culture out there that like if the skaters that really had to travel, if that didn't maybe reach the goal or number of people that you would hoped, you still had a really big crowd out there to be able to make this worthwhile, right?
Yes. The first event, I didn't get as many of the locals as I'd hoped, but that was all new to them. So maybe everybody was like, yeah, it was a shuffle event, and that's not as much a thing as it used to be here in the 90s.
Okay.
Our second event, thanks Denver. They showed out, man. It was great. It was great. We had our local people. We had tons of people come into town. It was fantastic.
Was it nerve-wracking that first event though? Like kind of like just because did you have like pre-sale tickets?
I did not.
Okay.
But I advertised the heck out of it. Juicy helped me a lot on that one. Mad Hatter and Lacey Skates, they all helped me promote it pretty well,
Because you guys, I mean, you went all out. I mean, you flew in how many DJs?
That one, it was just Mad Hatter on the first one.
But still, flying in a DJ for a first event, right? We don't know how this is gonna go. I mean, that's pretty gutsy, man.
It is, and it's tough because, I mean, you're bringing them here, so accommodations, accommodations of where they're going to stay, getting them around town. They need a car. I mean, you brought them to you, so I mean, you're kind of responsible for all that,
Yeah.
So it was definitely nerve-wracking, and I'm not here to make any money, man. I want the rink to make money. I want to see the DJs succeed. It covered the rink and the DJ in like $22 afterwards.
Shit, I just had it in my head.
Well, we were talking about bringing the DJ into town and whatnot.
Yeah, you had literally
Oh, so the first event, as I was saying, it's not about money. It's about the culture and the skating, right? So that event, it covered Sean, all of his expenses, the 2 nights at the rink, and I saw there was $20 after all said and done, which obviously I'm not here to make money, so I didn't care. But so it wasn't a complete disaster, right? It was a success.
Yeah, no, that's a success. I mean, like, look, at the end of the day, you did this thing the first time. It's never been done out there. You even brought in a DJ, had to cover all that expense. I mean, look, what do they say? Most businesses don't make money for the first however many years, when they start them. You know what I mean?
Hey, I can attest to that. I'm a small business owner, so
yeah.
Some backstory on that first event. You got half a second for that?
Please, no. Yes, go for it.
My first Philly event was you guys. I think it was April of 23. The last night was at the rink. Is that in New Jersey? Is that right?
Yes.
Mad Hatter and
Champs.
Yes.
Connor. Yeah.
Connor. Yes. Man, they just destroyed me that night, and I really enjoyed Mad Hatter's vibe. So I reached out to him, and I'm like, hey, I had a great time. I'd love to support you. Let's bring you in, man. I had a good night that night, and so he's like, hey, I'm gonna give you a video call. Let's connect. Let's talk. Let's get to know each other a little better. This man video calls me, and the entire background of his house was Denver Broncos. I'm like, hey, man, I'm just distracted by all this Broncos stuff. He's like, oh, I'm dying. It was just meant to be. Like, you were meant to be on my first one. You belonged in Denver because that's your team. Like, it was, what a perfect match for the first event. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And he wasn't fronting, like that's for real. You know, it wasn't like he
That
got.
is,
Yeah, he doesn't put up a home team for every gig. You know what I mean? Depending on where it is.
yeah, that was instantly. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be perfect.
That's hilarious, man. That's so
Yeah,
funny.
it was like
You,
meant to be. I
you
had
know,
no clue up until that point that he was like a diehard Denver fan. So he was like, I'm on. Let's go.
you know what's crazy, dude? I'm glad you brought that up about that Sunday at the rink in Jersey. Dude. I had a fantastic time. I mean, and just like every Sunday, if there's a third day in an event, it kind of clears out a little bit. People want to start traveling, right? It's always going to be lighter. That's just natural, right? But I know for myself and basically everyone else I saw on that floor, I didn't see people getting off that floor, right?
Nope.
But somebody like, I don't know, you know how it is, man. Like people, like one or two people complain, and then it's all of a sudden like, oh, like nobody liked this kind of crap. You know what I mean? And so I thought that session was great. That
Absolutely.
that vibe, like that Sean throws down, even like Hops, Jace Dulled, and I don't even
Hmm.
know if I've ever talked to that dude, but like that, like he has a thing. Connor, you know, these are, you know, all, and Connor DJ Champs, he's also a guy that was, you know, he skated roller jam a ton, you know. Uh, but yeah, man, I love that thing. I think that there's, and it is very much like, so, because when you say East Coast, you know, like it's like Northeast Coast. It's like kind of that funky kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's a little more
Yep.
hip hop oriented, you
Yes.
know, some house, you know, that kind of vibe. But I love it.
Me
I
too.
really do.
Me too.
But so uh when did when did you decide I want to make lights? When did that happen?
Well, I tried out a few cheap ones on my skates.
Okay.
You know, I went through, you know, you buy these things on Amazon or eBay, and
Yeah.
man, they all failed. I just kept getting new ones and new ones and new ones. And one day I just decided I'm going to research this a little bit. So, you know, I found a company that makes these little chips, the small batteries, the copper wire strip lighting, and I just started putting two and two together, and I came with this one successful pair, and everybody that saw them was like, "Dude, where'd you get those?" And I'm like, "Well, I made them." And
Hmm.
everybody's like, "Hey, make me a set, make me a set," and it's just kind of turned into, um, it's kind of turned into a thing, you
Yeah.
know. And it's not, again, I'm not in it. I don't sell a whole lot of them. I'm not in this to make a big business out of it, but you know, I've given way more away than I've sold.
I've seen you. I've seen you.
The kids, so many kids at my rink are like, "Hey, where do you get those lights, or how much are they?" And I'm like, you know, here, see
Yeah.
you next week. I'll bring you a set, and I can't help it, you
You
know.
sucker. You sucker.
You know, it is what it is, man. I the first round of that I made, I reached out to a bunch of people and I'm like, "Hey, can I ship you these on my dime and you try them and tell me what you think?" The first round were actually a complete failure. The chipboards caused the batteries to die and not charge and lose cell. It was a complete failure. Since then, we've you know, fixed them, and I still have an issue with just giving them away, man, all the time, all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
If I sell a few to help me cover the expense of what it costs to get the materials, um, so be it. If not, then I'm going to keep giving them away. You know?
The ones I have, I love that there's like, because it seems like there's kind of like two different
Yes.
designs as far as like, but like the ones I have are like it's like silicone wrapped, like,
Yes. Yeah. They got the heat shrink around the. Yes.
yeah, because man, the I had the other ones, and it was my
It's,
stupid fault because I literally like went to like take my skates off, and I used like my one skate to pull the other skate off,
yes,
and
I
so
do
like
that.
I cracked it, you know. But those things, man, like the ones that are heat wrapped or whatever, man, I don't know if I could break those.
I don't know if you can, and I think they're waterproof, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's this one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So the other one does like multicolor flashing options. This one does solid colors.
You'll see mine
And that's
does
about
multicolor flashing.
at the end, at the last cycle. Yes, the last
Yeah.
2 cycles. The other ones don't do solid at all. They're kind of RBG and they swirl, and I definitely prefer these. They're a little stronger. And that connection. Did you have the other ones also?
Yeah.
Yeah, that other one, that connector on it is.
Yeah.
I tried to do 2 different connectors for 2 different lights, and that connector it's a tough one. This one, it's got the little tab you push down. It's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love those ones, and not to mention, I love like the fact that now here's the other thing. I could go to a session, and most of the time I kind of if I'm using them, it's like at an event or something like that, But like
Mm-hmm.
if I go to an event, I skate 3 nights, I don't have to charge them like until
Nice.
till the end.
Yeah, they get about 9 hours out of them.
It's crazy. And
Yeah.
for as bright as they are. And the other thing is that they are it's not like I can look and see like, oh, they're dimming. They need to be they're like it's like they're at like max strength, or they just need to be charged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or they die.
Well, yeah,
Or
but I'd rather that. I'd rather them just die rather than just, you know what I mean? But the other thing that and I don't know if the other set does this, but I noticed that the set that I have, you plug them in and they'll blink red until they're charged, and then I know.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah, once they stop blinking, you're good to go.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
I rarely have to do it. And that's the other thing. I might not turn them on for like a couple months, but like when I go to turn them on again, they still have their full charge.
Yep. They're pretty amazing. You know where this all started? Oh, I was just telling you what made me want to make them. I don't know why I named them my name. A couple of my local people were like, "Hey, just put Divine Lights on it so everybody knows they're coming from you." And I'm like, "Well, I try to be as humble as I can, man. I'm just a skater. I'm just a dude. I don't even know where the name came from,
It's perfect.
Somebody told me, hey, you need to give yourself a skate name. Everybody's got their name on their shirts. And I do a lot of Grapevine, right? I'm driving home one night, and I'm like, I'm not giving myself a skate name. That's retarded. I'm Dan. I'm Daniel. You call me what you call me. I'm driving home one night, and I'm listening to, I forget what song it is. And some lyrics, it was like something with Divine in the lyrics came out, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm Dan. I just had this epiphany. And I go to talk to Alina at the rink, and I'm like, what about Divine? And she's like, that is it. And I'm like, okay. So it's just kind of stuck since then, man.
And somehow Divine like works better with the skates that you roll now.
It doesn't it?
It's got like some soul to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
In the videos, man, I never thought I'd be making videos. One day, my good friend Eric, he's one of my local skaters too. He's a professional photographer. He does it for like the Rocky Mountain News and ESPN, I believe. He does news and sports. He must have got me like kind of like Fernando does one day. He sends me this video, and he's like, or I see this video, and I'm like, dude, what? It was like 8K too, and I'm like, what? Where did this come from? And ever since then, he's like, look, man, we got to put you out there. And I'm like, no, that's not me. Whatever, I let it happen, and now I just enjoy it, and I want to see people, and I want to teach people, and I want to see people maybe trying some of my stuff or incorporating that in their own uniqueness, and I don't know.
Look, man, the video thing, for whatever reason that anyone puts stuff out there, the fact is like I mean, people like me saw that stuff and ended up back here, and I needed to be,
Yeah.
I mean, it made a significant difference in my life. It in a lot of ways
Absolutely.
saved my life, So, and it also it didn't just like make me aware of how relevant skating was and that, I could get involved. It also, like, seeing videos of certain people literally told me where to go. Like, go to this rink, find these happy people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think it's all good, man. The thing with your videos, I notice a lot though. Do you just have like access to that rink to skate whenever you want?
Okay. Uh-oh. I just have a good relationship with the rink. I've helped we helped paint before our event and work on the floor before it was redone. I don't know if you've seen in the recent videos, there's a bunch of new lighting. Me and one of the employees hung all that. So he just kind of lets me hang out sometimes after session. I mean, I'm not in there for hours at a time by any means. But he'll let me hang out on the floor for a good 30 minutes after session.
That's cool.
And I'm not a dick about it. I wait till everybody leaves because I don't want them to be like, "Oh, what's
right."
This guy? Yeah,
right.
I mean, some people ask me like, "Hey, how do I get in there?" And I'm like, I got to be careful.
Yeah, you got to be divine.
But yeah. So I'm like, "Hey, Steven," which is my son. I'm like, "Hey, follow me around for a few minutes,"
Yeah.
That's just kind of where it started. It's kind of nice to do it when your confidence is a little different when there's not a ton of people around. Which I actually prefer to do it during session just because a lot of the kids come up and they're like, "How did you do that?" And I absolutely want to pass that down. I want to teach them. I want to see them succeed in their skate life. I mean, they're our next generation. We have to have them.
Yeah.
My son, he wants to skate as many nights a week as I can.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love it.
Is he into your style too?
He's getting there. He likes to go fast.
Yeah.
He's got a set of 951s. He's got Super Ds on it, an Avenger plate. He's got a pretty nice setup, and he's fast. He likes to be fast.
And I totally agree as far as, the importance of passing this thing along, making it available, and the whole thing. My problem is I'm just the worst at like telling somebody or showing somebody how to do something. I am the I can't. I'm just like, well, I don't know, just do it.
I'm with that. When people are like, "How do you grapevine?" I'm like, you just turn your feet. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I finally, so we pulled out the cones one night. We're having a bunch of fun, and I've really found a way to teach it kind of solemnly through cones.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it makes it real. You can actually see the footwork moving around the cones. You know what I mean? It helps a lot.
So you were mentioning about how this guy took this video of you, and he didn't even realize it, and he like shot like an 8K, right? So this guy I know, he worked for. He was out in California for a few years, but he does drone camera work.
Okay.
Right? And he's worked on like literally like a Beyonce video. He did a bunch of stuff on Kill the Irishman, that Netflix gangster flick that came out a couple years ago. Bunch of different like huge music artists like videos, different movies. I can't even think of them all right now. But but I mean, he's so good. He's so good with it, right? And I just started talking to him about it because now, obviously, you got to have the right situation, as far as a rink would go. One, I mean, you want permission, but it can't be one of those low ceiling rinks. Philly would be a really, really good place for it, but he could even do it probably in a low ceiling rink because he's just that good. But man, I'm trying to figure out at some point here, and this is nowhere near. I haven't very much infant stage of trying to figure this out, but how I want to incorporate it where I can get all the people that like I really want to get on video and have this guy just do drone footage. You know what I mean? Like, so a venue where I can get someone like you doing your thing, a Brandon Nix, an OG Smooth, like all these people, right? And I just an hour somewhere with this guy and this drone, you know?
That would be awesome.
Yeah, he's totally down for it. We just did this. This guy had this country artist or whatever, local artist had, asked me to skate in this music video. He wanted to do part of it and at the Gretna rink actually. And I was like, all right, but so this guy Ben though that I know, I was like, well, yeah, I'll do it, but and we figured out all the other stuff. But I was like, but my biggest condition is I want to be able to bring my own guy to be able to record all this stuff behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like just record anyone, everything, the whole project. And he was like, oh yeah, that's fine. And man, the footage is just amazing.
Nice.
It's so good. So when's the next event? It's August. Did you settle on a date yet?
I think it'll be the third week. Because every third Friday of every month here in Denver, there's a place, it's called Real Works. It's a bar. Every third Friday, they do an event called Roll. It's a themed thing. And I'd like to do it on the same weekend because this is like, so it's a bar. There's a karaoke lounge. It's like 3 clubs in one. And every third Friday, they do this. It's themed. There could be a Barbie night. There could be, who knows, man? Who knows? It was mustache roll last weekend. So everybody's got fake mustaches. It's like nothing you will ever experience anywhere. So I would like to hold it on the third weekend so that people can experience that the night before. Just because it's another part of Denver skate culture that you probably won't see anywhere else. And
theme is fine. Just don't have it can't be Swifty night. You know what I mean?
There might be every once in a while, but we'll see what happens that weekend.
If I fly to Colorado and end up at a Swifty night, bro, we're gonna go. There's gonna be some furniture moving around that place.
Nice.
I ain't doing that. So it was so funny when I went to I was visiting my brother. We took him to go get skates, and you know how most rinks their pro shop's kind of limited, right? I mean, you can order anything, but like as far as what's in stock, well, we went to Kate's Gastonia and they got a legit like in stock, supply. And so of course, like we get them equipped and everything, and we want to, and we're going to skate like, I think a couple nights after that or something, but we want to have them try them out, but it's a Swifty skate. Like while we're there, oh my God, dude.
It's not our thing. That's definitely a family session.
God, dude. Let me, but I tell you what, if I owned a rink, I'd be doing it. I was even talking to that. They make so much money.
Yeah, if it keeps your rink alive, that's what it's all about, man.
But just the merch. They sell all this crazy merch.
Yeah, the glasses, whatever it may be. I agree. I agree. I think our rink does a Swifty skate every once in a while.
They all do.
I feel sorry for the poor employees that have to listen to 3 hours of it. But
Can you imagine?
If it keeps the rink alive and it's bringing in revenue, I mean, how can we argue?
Oh, I can argue.
Just don't go, right?
Okay, so August and so how many nights is the actual event that you have? Is it like 2 nights that are the actual event?
The first one I did Friday and Saturday. This year I did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I wanted people to experience Wagon Wheel. It's my favorite rink in the country, like I said. I'd like to go 3 nights again, just because there's so much to do out here. Hopefully I can get the owner to let me go a little earlier this time because there's a lot to experience in Denver. Nobody wants to stay up till 3 a.m. There's a lot of mountains. There's a lot of hiking. There's a lot of scenery. You need daytime in Colorado. You need it. So, I think it'll be that second weekend. I think that ends up the 21st or the 22nd to the 24th of August, I think. Now, I'll have to confirm that with the rink manager and make sure everything's good. But I think that'll be my settled date.
So let me ask this, because I think we kind of talked about this in Philly, but I don't quite remember. So for the people that come out there, right, they're not used to being a mile higher than what they normally are, right? Do you see like a thing for people trying to like build up their wind or have enough wind to kind of be able to go like they normally would? Does that ever cause an issue? Do you ever see that?
I, in terms of the skating, everybody seemed okay both years.
Yeah.
Now
I'm not trying to discourage anybody.
No, I get you. That's a great question, and that matters. For one, at our Walmarts here, you can buy these little cans of like oxygen. It's got a mouthpiece on it, and you can huff on it. So there's a good start. But it seemed like it may be. Everybody seems pretty good breathing. Elevation sickness might have got them over the time. You know what I mean? So
okay.
their bodies might have been a little worn out. But everybody seemed okay this time around. The first event, the second day Saturday, we all took a trip way up in the mountains. We went over a mountain pass. It's 14,000 feet. Everybody struggled that night, but I think all those people were, that was, Juicy and a bunch of her friends from Atlanta and a couple Florida people. And I think coming from very minimal elevation to over 14,000 feet, I think it exhausted them. So that night of skate, I don't think the skating got them. I think the day trip,
right,
had affected them. So,
what does elevation sickness look like? Like, what is that?
I think you just get really exhausted. You might end up with a headache, feel a little dehydrated.
Yeah.
Definitely hydration. And it'll just weaken you when you first get here, Yeah.
All right. Hey, so are you going to Texas this year?
Definitely.
Nice.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll see.
Hey man, they're doing a learn to shuffle again.
Yeah.
On that Saturday. Oh, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Jen, she was on the mic. She kind of hosted the whole thing, and it was phenomenal, man. We're teaching the kids to shuffle. And this year they'll have Chase there helping and Rink Rat Noah. So, yeah, I'm excited for that alone.
Is there anyone more perfect to hand a mic to than Jen Rankin? Seriously?
She nailed it, bro. It was on point.
Talk about natural charisma. You know what I mean? Just she's like a born entertainer, man.
Agreed. You know what? And I've probably been to about 20 events in the same rink as her, and I should probably be more social.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
Yeah. But
no,
you're right. She's good people, and she was perfect. Yeah. You nailed that part.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So she so no, I literally like just kind of made my final plans for it. So actually I'm going to drive down to Rob McGarrigle and then hop in with him, and we're actually going to drive to Texas together.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, everyone to a person. It's so funny. It's the only event that I ask somebody about, and they immediately like, they don't talk about the event. They start talking about Jeff Groban.
Yep.
They just start talking about the guy that puts it on.
So accommodating. And oh man, and then the second day after that learn to shuffle, he rents out this place for lunch where we can all gather. It's got a stage. Oh, he's just so accommodating. He's top notch.
He opens it up for free on Thursday.
Yeah, just to let you meet and greet each other.
And caters
else,
it,
man.
With like some.
Yeah.
On top of it, it's from talking to him, because he was on the pod and just talking, like everybody, like I said, that's ever talked about the skating place and that event, they always just praise Jeff and how accommodating he is, but also like the whole town of Abilene, is like welcome. They said like they on the marquee at some old theater, like it's welcome skaters or something like that. Like
pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. The hotel is accommodating. They know we're coming. Like, yeah, it's something else.
Sometimes I wonder, like, and this is just my little twisted humor, but sometimes I wonder, like, are there other like other skate owners or rink owners out there, and they see these videos of people talking about, Groban and the Skate and Place event, and They're like, "Oh, come on, bro, seriously? You know what I mean? You're giving it away now, like, like, how can I keep up with that?"
That is a huge possibility, and he's not doing it. Again,
No, it's
he's
not.
not
No,
doing
he's
it for
not
the
trying
money.
he's not trying to undercut anybody or
Um,
no.
or line his pocket. He is
No.
trying to elevate the community, man.
Yeah.
He wants to see us all be happy in his town. He wants the skating to grow. He's such a good guy.
It's got to be, like for you too, because everything's over here. All the events, all like you know what I mean? Like that whole
It's
kind
tough.
of
It's
culture.
tough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get past the Mississippi, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless I'm in Cincinnati, they have pretty good events too. But yeah, and it's like Chicago, Ohio, South.
What about Cali?
Cali has their events. They
Do you
do.
get out there?
Yeah, I've been there a few times. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vegas.
To skate?
It's a whole different culture. I mean, those sliders are something else, but man, are they phenomenal. They're phenomenal. I feel like I'm in the way a little bit, but um, as for you or me or any of us who are in our zone, the moment you put your skates on and they see you rocking it, everybody's pretty welcoming, anywhere we go.
Who's that guy? I don't know if you follow him, but one of those sliders out there, Pee Wee something or other.
Okay,
Pee-wee.
yeah.
I love watching that dude's videos.
The guy with the long
man.
hair?
Yeah, man. I love
Yeah.
that guy. I
Yeah.
love that dude. Just his
They
videos.
love
I don't know him, but I love watching his stuff.
they love to skate to that OG Cali
Yeah,
kind of
man.
gangster hip hop, which is still fun. We all grew up listening to it,
Yep.
It's definitely a vibe and it's fun. It's fun.
It is, man.
I can't wait to build a pair. I'm gonna try it. Try it. But I don't think my floors are made for that, so I'm still gonna try it though.
A guy I know around here decided he was going to do it and went all out. Got the now and later Gators, the whole deal,
Nice.
And that dude's out of control on, any wheel. And he put them things on and I just stay away, like
Who is it, if you don't mind me asking?
It's this dude, Chris. He doesn't. I don't think you've ever met him. He doesn't go to events or anything like that. He's
Gotcha.
He's a super cool dude. Like, all respect to him. Like, I think he was even kind of, because I used to bust his chops because I'd be like, dude, like, because he put them together, and he would bring them with him, but he never put them on. And I'd be like, but he'd always be like taking pictures with them and stuff. I'd be like, dude, stop doing that, bro. If you're not gonna skate with them, man, don't be posting pictures.
Yeah, get them on those feet. Get them on those feet.
Man.
Let's see what you got.
But
definitely.
it's crap. Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me. Like like for me to get on, because even like last night, right? I said I got the Ghost Assassins. I'm at the rink. I'm putting them on, and I just put my foot in the skate, and just feeling like, when you especially have a hard wheel and you never rolled them, and you feel that slide. You know what I mean? I'm like just that in itself. I'm like, oh god, this might be a disaster. Like, but man, that slider stuff is impressive to me.
It is, and so I've tried them. They weren't my skates, but luckily I twirl and spin a lot, so the balance wasn't such an issue. But if you're not ready for them, you're gonna hit the floor.
Yeah,
they're something else, man. They're just.
Like, so I tried them on, and it's like roller skating on ice.
Yeah, what impresses me is the Cali and the Vegas skaters. They're doing it speeds we're doing it at.
Yeah.
We're shuffling at. They're sliding at. It's quite impressive.
And they know, like, at what speed where they just can build to and just slide, and like, they know where exactly they'll stop. You know what I mean? They just have all this experience of every different range of motion or speed, where they just kind of, I don't know. It's just something you probably figure out and kind of becomes instinct after a while.
And navigate through the crowd properly and whatnot. And that's amazing.
Well, Dan, is there anything else you want to throw out there, man?
I appreciate you shouting on my lights and talking about the next Denver event. Really, if you don't mind, I'd love to shout out my hometown, man.
Please do.
We got skate culture like nobody else. Like I said, we have the roll thing that's a themed, and you can skate every night of the week. I hope on next year's event we can get a few people to come out and see us for a week, and experience that. It'll help you acclimate to the elevation if you're here for a couple of days. I know traveling isn't cheap, but I'd love to see people, and I'd love to share my skate culture with everybody. That's the whole reason I'm starting it. I want to share my culture and bring everybody else to it, and I'd like to see a little more shufflers here. So bringing them here might pump the gas on a little bit of inspiration, because I grew up shuffle skating. So yeah, and I want to thank all the event hosters out there. Sparkles, Jeff Cooey, Jeff Groban, Big Daddy Ray, Huggy Bear in Ohio, and I'm gonna thank Juicy. I wouldn't be where I am without her. She's a special lady.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that, man.
Yeah, I mean, she just wants skate culture to grow, and she brings awareness to it. And she loves to introduce people to people to help our community grow. It's quite amazing. She's super special.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, as you're saying that too, it's beyond like just and not so much anymore. Not so much more as it used to be, but like beyond just the social media stuff, it's the stuff that she does at a rink with just going up to one person and introducing herself and welcoming them. Rob was just telling me, I mean, he feels like, as far as like the first person that really connected with him when he went to an actual rink, and kind of being a little standoffish, it was her.
Hand right here, man. I'm with, and I bet 1,000 of us. I couldn't even imagine how many people will agree with that exact statement.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't be where I am without her. Yeah, she's quite special. And Nathan Edwards. Every one of us need that man. He is a staple to our community. And not only is he a staple, but he is a phenomenal skater. And a wonderful roommate. If you want someone fun to stay with, winner.
Yeah, probably one of the most understated skaters ever. Because every time I see him, Steel City, he's just like on his toes, like doing this crazy stuff. And I'm like, wait, where did that come from?
You can do that?
Yeah.
He can do it all, man. And
and on top of being one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, sincerely.
Yeah. Agreed.
Good dude.
Hands down. I couldn't thank. I feel like I've made a lifetime friend with him, and I hope that continues. And I had to give him a shout out because he's quite special to me.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, anything else?
You got anything else? How about you?
No, man. When
are we going to see each other next? Abilene?
Yeah, Abilene. Unless you're going to go to Wisconsin.
You going to that?
I'm pretty much 99% sure I'm going to. I have to.
I would like to. Do you?
Dude, there are skaters there that like this is another name. I'm coming off like such a fanboy, but another name, Aaron Bardwell, dude. I skated with him one time in Ohio. I don't know if you ever skated with him, seen him.
Is he the tall guy? Got the blue 950 or the 195s? Yep.
Insane.
With the orange wheels?
Yep.
I agree.
Well, he's a national speed skating champion.
Yes.
But dude, that guy is crazy with it. So funny. I was saying to somebody the other day, I literally never thought I'd hear myself say, "Yo, I got to get to Wisconsin." You know what I mean? But I'm serious. There is stuff there. They got it going on there. There are skaters there, man.
Yeah, and that rink is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could. I wish I could make it. And you can get some mayhem love.
Yep. But definitely Texas. We'll have some fun in Texas.
Nice.
All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate this so much, man. This was good. This is a really good one. This is a good one.
I hope so. I'm honored to be on here, and I'm honored to be a part of the skate community, and I hope Skate Like You. When are you going to get that event, by the way? I'm waiting for that. Let me
Dude,
know.
I really want to, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say I don't completely know. I have talked to a few different places and, all that kind of stuff, but I've seen what it's like for people for someone that wants to do an event to have to go beg, for a rink. And there's a difference between rinks that embrace an event versus rinks that just tolerate it. And,
True.
and I will not do it unless I find a rink that is just as excited about doing it as I am.
Man, you're getting so big, you're going to need a whole stadium. What are you talking about?
It's not even close. Not even close, dude.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Much respect, and the whole community has it, I promise you.
I'm just having fun, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm having a blast doing it.
No. What you're
so
doing,
honest.
What you're doing is, I'm going to put you in Juicy's category. You are bringing all of us, introducing us all to each other. I found out so much about so many skaters since you started this that I never thought I would have known, and you feel that much closer when you see that person next time. And we, from me to you, thank you. It's quite special.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I really, really do. I'm grateful to everybody that just allows me to be a part of this thing. Really, like I came to this thing. I felt like an outsider, and everywhere I go, people make me feel like an insider. And
look what you're doing for the community. It's more special than you're giving yourself credit for. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's amazing.
Well, I just, I don't know. I appreciate that. I'm no good at I'm no good at hearing that kind of stuff.
me either. I'm telling you, I'm just a guy. That's what I tell everybody. I'm just a guy who skates, so.
But I feel almost bad because it's like, no, dude, like this isn't like, because it's not hard work. This is fun. So it's like, it doesn't compute in my head that it's anything other than me just avoiding adult responsibility and having fun.
Well, what a wonderful way to do it. You're bringing a whole community together, and introducing us to each other in the deepest parts of our skate lives, and nobody else has done that.
Well,
thank you.
Right. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you being on, and I will definitely see you in Texas, dude.
Done deal.
All right, man. Have a good one, Dan.
Thank you.